In 1570, a city burned. Moscow wasn't burning from accident. It was Ivan IV of Russia, the Terrible himself, making sure everyone remembered who was boss. If you think that's bad, history has proven time and again that power doesn't always creep in slowly. Sometimes it hits young, hits hard, and transforms personal fear into national policy. Ivan was crowned in 1547, still a teenager, in a Moscow shaped by suspicion, betrayal, and very hungry boyars. As a child, he had watched men rule in his name, neglect him, mock him, and occasionally forget to feed him. So when power finally landed in his hands, it didn't feel like authority. It felt like revenge, served cold and often with a side of torture. At first, Ivan seemed ambitious, even reasonable. He centralized the state, reformed the law code, expanded Russian territory. But then, fear, personal and deep, became political. Convinced that the nobles conspired against him, he created the Obrichnina, a state within the state, enforced by black-clad riders who answered only to the Tsar. They confiscated land, executed enemies, and reminded everyone that loyalty wasn't optional. Thousands died. Homes were burned, rivers ran ice-cold with bodies, and Ivan apparently thought he was just clearing up a few trust issues. Half a century earlier, in France, young Charles IX was having his own messy coming-of-age story. By 1572, Charles had been king for 12 years, and like Ivan, his youth didn't prepare him for ruling in a country on the edge. Religious tension boiled between Catholics and Huguenots. Charles, under the careful guidance of his mother, Catherine de' Medici, decided to host what was meant to be a unifying wedding. Instead, it turned into the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre, where thousands of Huguenots were killed in Paris alone. Charles was only 22, and yes, he actually thought orchestrating a massacre might be a good political move. Spoiler, it wasn't. His reign became a cocktail of paranoia, guilt, and bad decisions, all spiked with youthful overconfidence. Both men were young, both inherited power too early, and both turned fear into policy. But while Ivan's terror burned across cities, Charles's massacres echoed through French society, leaving generations haunted. And here's the kicker. Neither one really had much time to reflect on their choices before their early deaths reminded the world that power, when handled poorly, rarely waits for maturity.